Students, today lecture on Mollusca general characteristic and classification. So Mollusca are soft bodied animal. The definition of Mollusca is that they are soft bodied, bilaterally symmetrical, unsegmented coelomate animals, usually celled, having a mental ventral foot, anterior head and a dorsal visceral mass. They are mostly found in marine and freshwater. Very few are terrestrial and found in most soil. They exhibit organ system level of organization. Body is commonly protected by an exoskeleton, calcareous cells of one or more pieces secreted by the mantle. Body divided into head, visceral mass, muscular foot and mantle. Ventral body wall is modified into a muscular flat or cloak-like surface, the foot which is variously modified for creeping, burrowing and swimming. Mantle is fold of body wall and leaves between itself and the main body mass the mantle cavity. The head comprises of tentacles and compound eyes. The body is covered by a calcareous cell. The muscular foot help in locomotion. They have a well developed digestive system. The radula is the rasping organ for feeding. On the radula there are teeth are present. So radula help in grinding the food. The mollusks are respired through general body surface, gills or pulmonary sac. Aquatic animal respire through general body surface and gills, while the terrestrial mollusks respire with the help of pulmonary sac. The blood circulates through the open circulatory system. That the blood circulate inside the body in the cavities. They have a pair of metanephridia that help in excretion. The nervous system consists of number of paired ganglia and nerves. The paired ganglia are cerebral, pleural, pedal and visceral ganglia joined by longitudinal and transverse connectives and nerves. The tentacles, eyes, osphradium and statocyst act as the sensory organs. The sexes are separate in most of the mollusks, but some species are hermaphrodite. Fertilization may be external or internal. They are generally oviparous with indirect development. The key points on of mollusca. The key point means special character of mollusca which found only in this phylum. This character is the special character of mollusca. Phylum Mollusca is the second largest phylum. A few mollusks such as Unio possesses green glands which mimic the liver in vertebrates. They possess osphradium to test the chemical nature of water. The statocyst maintain body equilibrium and Octopus has 8 arms and contain no cell. They also possess ink gland for protection. The blood is blue or green in color due to the presence of a pigment containing copper called hemocyanin. They possess a myogenic heart. Then the classification of mollusca. तो mollusca study in the different classes or the classification of mollusca we study in the different classes. The first class is Aplacophora. Aplacophora or Solenogasters. Aplacophora, the word meaning A means note, plex means plate and pherin means bearing, means the cells, there is no plates in the cell. In Aplacophora, body worm-like, bilaterally symmetrical and cylindrical. Head, mantle, foot, shell and nephridia are absent. Body covered with cuticle, basset with numerous calcareous spicules. Mouth and anus are terminal or subterminal at opposite end. Like you see the picture of Chaetoderma. Chaetoderma is the example of Aplacophora. There is a pair of coelomoduct in the form of gonoduct opening into the terminal part of intestine or independently. A mid-dorsal longitudinal keel or crest is often present. Sex is united or separate, means dioecious nature animal. Example of Aplacophora is Neomania and Chaetoderma. The next class of mollusca is Monoplacophora. Monoplacophora, the word meaning of Monoplacophora, monos means one, plex means plate, pherin means bearing, means the cell consists of only single plate. There is body bilaterally symmetrical and segmented. Cell comprises single piece or valve. Head without eyes and tentacles. Foot flat and ventral. Mantle encircles the body as a circular fold of the body wall. Gills external and serially arranged. 5 pairs of nephridia serially arranged. Sex is separate. The example is Neoplena like. It is the structure of Neoplena. The third class of mollusca is Polyplacophora. Poly means many, placo means plate, phora means bearing. The cell consists of many plates. You see, there is the structure of chitin and the cell consists of many plates. In Polyplacophora, it is mostly bilaterally symmetrical, dorso-ventrally flattened mollusk, body elliptical, convex dorsally and flattened ventrally. Head distinct without eyes and tentacles. Cell composed of a longitudinal series of 8 calcareous pieces. Foot flat and ventral laterally bordered by a groove containing gills. Radula well developed, comprising 17 teeth. Intestine coiled with a terminal anus. A pair of nephridia extending from pericardium to the lateral groove. A pair of gonoduct without relation to the pericardium. sexes are separate or dioecious nature. The example of Polyplecophora is chitin and cryptochitin. The next class of mollusca is gastropoda. The word meaning of gastropoda: gastro means belly and podos means food, belly like food. They are found either on land or in fresh and marine water. The head bears tentacles, eyes and mouth. Foot is ventral, broad, flat, muscular, forming the creeping sole and often bearing dorsally a hard piece, the operculum on its posterior end. Visceral mass spirally coiled, exhibiting torsion. The example of gastropoda is Haliotis and Pila. You see the Pila, it belongs to gastropoda. The scientific name of Pila, this phyla is Pila globosa. Then the next class or fifth class of the phylum is Scaphopoda. Scaphopoda, scapha means boat, podos means foot, boat shaped foot. These are exclusively marine, found only in marine environment. Body is bilaterally symmetrical, elongated and enclosed in tusk-like cell open at both ends. You see the structure of the animal. There is the elephant tusk-like structure, the cell, and in tusk-like structure the animal enclosed. Eyes, tentacle and gills are absent. Mental, tubular, completely enclosing the body. Mouth surrounded by lobular porosis or outgrowths. Foot is reduced, used for digging. Heart rudimentary. Sex is separate. The example of this Scaphopoda class is Dentalium. The diagram is of Dentalium species. The next or sixth class of the phylum is Pelecypoda. Pelecis means hatchet and podos means foot, hatchet like foot. They are aquatic, mostly marine, some freshwater forms. Body is bilaterally symmetrical and laterally compressed. Cell consists of two lateral valves hinged together mid-dorsally. Head is not distinct. Pharynx, jaw, radula and tentacles are absent. Foot is ventral, muscular, is plowshare. The body has no distinct head. They usually burrow in mud and the example is mussels and unu. These type of animal is known as bivalve animal, and the pearl formation occur in this type of animal. The class Cephalopoda, the seventh class of phylum Mollusca and the last class of phylum Mollusca, Cephalopoda. The word meaning of Cephalopoda is cephalo means head and podos means foot. Head seen as a foot like structure, या foot found near the head. These are exclusively marine. Body bilateral symmetrical with head and trunk. Cell spiral, chambered or usually with or without reduced cell embedded in the mantle. Head bears large eyes and mouth. Trunk consists of symmetrical and uncoiled visceral mass. Mantle enclosed posteriorly and ventrally a large mantle cavity. Foot altered into the series of suckers bearing arms or tentacles encircling the mouth. Mouth bears jaw and radula, 2 or 4 pairs of bipectinate gills. Circulatory system closed, heart with 2 or 4 auricles. Excretory system comprises 2 or 4 pairs of nephridia. The example of cephalopoda is octopus and spirula. There is the classification of phylum Mollusca. Thank you.